Right along.
Yeah, we're gonna keep this brief. I really like this season 15, season 2 of the new one. I really like this one. I really like that the way that it gonna
Yeah, we're
spoil
gonna
the
spoil
shit
the
out
shit
of it.
out of this.
Hank, we have plenty of time now that Bobby's out of the house.
Maybe I could do something with my hands. Like I always say, never leave home without your welder's kit.
He does always say that, but I still often forget.
Thanks for coming home with me this weekend.
Now that we're dating, it's important your parents know I'm a man.
Bagman, carry Connie's bags to the door and then be gone.
She called me a man.
Hello, redneck cohort.
Huh, looks like Bobby and Connie are official. Talking about doing no dang old hard launch, man.
Damn you, Bobby Hill!
Peggy, that's against golf etiquette.
What does golf etiquette say about me jamming this club into your mouth?
It's frowned upon.
Hank and I have learned our communication skills could be a little better.
She's got a crush on you.
Oh, no. It's not what it looks like.
What the?
Connie! I'm in jail. Send me money for bail.
Nancy,
Hey, guys.
Y'all have been scammed.
I'm the guy that keeps us prepared and protected.
Well, maybe you aren't that guy anymore.
I really like that the way that they end this season is showing us how Hank and them ended up where they were.
I love teenage Bobby with his blue fucking haircut. I love him. I love the idea that once you hit a certain age, once a kid hits a certain age, you lose all sense of parental authority. I love that. That's great. I love seeing Bobby, who up until that point was so reverent towards his dad for the most part. I love that dad. I love that Hank's the embarrassing one. That's great.
But he's also still embarrassed by Bobby, which is great.
I love it. I think that's great. I still continue to love adult Bobby continues to be the fucking standout.
He's great.
I love how he is constantly and consistently the most reasonable one. Like,
yeah,
and even
he's and this was the thing that I realized too. As he's gotten older, they really show, and I'm sorry, mom, dad, but they really managed to articulate and show that like he's an adult who has to like manage his parents now.
Yes, like it really does, because I joke about this constantly, but your parents don't prepare you for that moment where you're an adult and they're also an adult. Like, and you have to navigate that relationship,
feelings.
where you're not quite friends, but they're not quite like an authority figure anymore, but like they still kind of have to act like it. Like, yeah.
And you kind of have to treat them like they are, but you don't really.
You don't really. Yeah, this show does a really great job of representing that. Yes, of having
same
that
with
moment
Connie
where you're like,
too.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, same with Connie. Connie, I liked her so much more than I thought.
She was way better in this season.
Way better. Like I like how even they have an adult relationship. Like I like how even when they get into a fight, he steps back and he goes, "Wait, maybe I did something wrong."
And then they talk about
it.
The problem, too.
Right? Exactly. And they resolve it, and it's like, oh, there isn't like a drama of are they gonna break up as a result? No, we're adults.
Yeah.
We're gonna have an adult conversation about this. I really like that. That was really good.
Or like another thing that I really liked about their dynamic and relationship is how like they set up a scenario where like in the original King of the Hill they were like 12 or 13 or whatever, and like it would have led to a scenario where there would have been different kind of hijinks that come as a result of it, right?
Exactly.
Whereas like in this one, so like there's the part where it's Connie's birthday and Con's like wants to be like the good dad or whatever, and Bobby's like I'll help you kind of thing. And like in the original, it would have led to Connie being mad at Bobby because Bobby would have like been left holding the bag, right? So like in this one, and like he would have not known what to do. But in this one, because he's a competent adult, he gives her dad the stone that he was gonna give her, and then does like the song and the rest of it, and she's like, "Aw," and like she knows because they're adults, right? She knows that he actually bought it and is like, I love you so much more for this kind of thing.
I love Con and Bill. Speaking of Con, I love Con and Bill. I love their relationship. I love how that's building. I like the fact that he's moved in with Bill in this season, and I like that him and Bill are becoming friends, like genuinely friends. I love how much he likes. Like, I like the episode where where Dale thinks he's turning him into a dog. He's like, no, I wanted you to be okay when I left. Like all that shit's
And then
great.
he comes back.
And then he comes back. Like all that shit's great. Like it's not like IGN gave this a 10 out of 10. I don't know that it's a 10 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 because for me there's a couple of really cringy conservative jokes. 9 would be very, very solid. There's a couple of really cringy conservative jokes where Hank says like, I bet there's an episode where Nancy buys or gets a Cybertruck and they're trying to figure out who it belongs to, and Hank says something to the effect of, I bet she parks it near her safe, or I bet she parks it in her safe space, and that made me groan. I was like, oh, that's not a Hank Hill joke. Like that doesn't work. That doesn't work coming from him. It's not.
Yeah, but it also kind of does because he's from Texas.
It does. It doesn't.
He was always weird.
I get why you would say that.
There's a few things that he was always like very weird about, and so for him to have over time developed into those kind of doesn't really.
Wasn't that
one of them was his truck. He's always been like big about the truck. One of them is the mowing of the lawn, and the other is the propane.
Oh, it's not him being indifferent or him being upset about her truck that I'm like, oh, that it's the joke about safe spaces. I'm like, that's such a lame fucking. Like, I'm surprised he didn't say I identify as a truck. Like, it's that hacky. It's just a really hacky
I get
joke.
what you're saying, but because it's from because it's from Texas, it doesn't seem out of place.
You could probably make the joke that it's like a conservative dad joke, I guess, at this point. But it was like this show was smarter than that in the last season, and it's one of two moments where it made me groan. Like there's another moment where they try to do a trans joke and it's not funny, but it ends up working. Like they do a bit where they have a chicken that turns into a rooster, which is a thing that can happen in nature. Apparently, I learned. I was like when I was watching that episode, I was like, wait, is that a thing that can happen? And I googled it, and it is. It is a thing that can happen. They had the kids were like, we don't want you telling our kids that boys can turn into girls, and I'm like. At least Hank, what Hank says in response to it felt like a normal person response to somebody saying that, where he's like, I'm not saying that can happen. It's just, this is what's happened. He's like, this is I'm not saying that humans can do this. I'm saying this is a chicken that can do that. I'm like, okay, no, that is believable. That is a believable stance for him to take in this situation. But yeah, him cracking a joke about a safe space.
Neutrality.
Like, yeah, that doesn't, it was corny. The other episode, I love old Hank's approach to shit, how it's different, like how his approach to situations. Like my favorite episode in the season, I don't know, there's so many, there's none quite as bangy as him bonding with GH. There were way more bangers, I think, in the last season, but the one where him and Bobby go to the comic book convention. And he ends up watching the whole show or all the movies or whatever of the thing that's definitely supposed to be Star Wars, and he makes the axe or whatever. There's a really
I would have said it was part Star Wars, part Star Trek.
I mean, yes, it's a combination of the two. But I'd say it's probably also borrowing a lot from Dune as well. But Star Wars anyway. I did think there was a missed opportunity when Hank was really into the movie or whatever. I think there's a missed opportunity to have Bob be like, that man ain't right. I think that would have been funny.
I still think you should have said that man is right.
That man is right. And
he's my daddy.
I love that the season ends with him in charge of Strickland Propane. That he owns 51% of it, and he's now the manager. I'm really hoping that becomes a plot point in the next season of him having to deal with owning a business now and being in charge. Like, it's different when Lady Propane, when your love is now the thing that you know what I mean. Like his interactions with it are different now that he's the boss. It's different. So I'm really interested to see how that. And yeah, some of the voice, I'm still not a lover of Khan. It comes and goes for me. Dale. There's episodes where it's better than others, but the thing that made it easier for me to get over how much I didn't care for his voice was he gets a lot of the better episodes. I really like the one where it's he's teaching Hank about AI. That was really funny.
It was less jarring for me with Dale this season because they weren't trying to have it both ways. They didn't have the old guy and the new guy.
That is true. It's entirely the new guy, so it allows you to
get used to it.
kind of get used to it. And you're right. It's just because at points it doesn't sound natural. It sounds like he's putting on a voice at times, and then the other times, like when he screams, when he yells as Dale, he's like, ah, he does that. Pitch. Oh yeah, I also love that Bobby gets his own. Wah. That's great. That was awesome. I love that. Him and Hank and Caesar. Hank and Caesar that's a great relationship. I love that. Hank gets a little dog that he becomes best friends with. That they initially think is 2 years old.
Peggy gets a dog. And
yeah, he's Hank's dog. Like any dog purchased by an older couple, the husband is reluctant to get the dog at first, and then it becomes his dog. That is his dog. What else? Was there anything else about this season that I really liked? I'm not gonna lie. It's hard. Like, I'm enjoying this more than the original series because it's more mature. It's allowed to be, not even just in its language, yes, they get to say some curse words, but in terms of its interactions with the world. It is a more mature show. The characters are interacting with the world more maturely, but does this work without the existence of there's so many moments in this that work so well because you have that history with the characters. So like when he's got a similar line in this season, but one of my favorite lines in the first season is when Bobby's like, my dad's love was my mom, me, and then propane, and then some days I barely eked out propane. That's funny, because you know what his childhood was like. We grew up with him. We grew up seeing his child. Or like when he says something similar to Connie this season when he's like, when I was 13 years old, I would have done this. And you're like, you remember him when he's 13.
I definitely, I think you need that original show. Yeah,
without that hit. But would you feel that if you watch that show now, as opposed to, would you still have that like level of like, I love adult Bobby because I remember kid Bobby? Would you still have that if you watched the original show now? I don't know that you would. I don't know.
I haven't watched the original King of the Hill in years, so
yeah. But like, again, I just don't think it's a 10.
Stupid air show.
I just don't think it's a 10 out of 10 show. I really don't. But it's
I mean, I don't think anything ever at any point is 10 out of 10. Yeah, so that's not a fair statement for me.
I know what you mean. I understand.
That's a me thing. I just don't. I don't believe in 10s out of 10.
I'm very excited. Like, I'm really hoping that you're right. I really wish that they would separate this though from the original show. Don't call it season 15. It's cumbersome.
I mean, it's a revival series. Put it as its own revival.
Its own thing. Yeah, you're right. I don't think it needs to. I don't think it needs to be.
I don't even think you need to call it like you don't need to be like King of the Hill. This time we're back or anything like that. Just have it be Hulu's King of the Hill and be a different thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. The only I have very few criticisms of this. Very few. I just don't, and it's really just holdover criticism from the previous season. Like, I don't think that John Redcorn needed to be in this.
Is he in this season?
Yeah, he shows up at the end of the one where Nancy and Dale are marriage counselors.
Oh, I must have missed that.
He shows up at the end, and he's got like one line, and she's like, "Shug, I don't think my headaches are gonna need curing anymore." And he goes, "Fair enough. Call me when you need them." And he drives off. And I just don't think they needed to get back together in the first place. Like.
Didn't she in the original show? They already kind of cut that off.
Yeah. She broke up with him, and and then they had an episode where she almost goes back with him, and then she decides not to. So her being back with him at the beginning of this revival doesn't make any sense, and it's one of the things I didn't like about that first season. I don't like the fact that I think the episode where it's Nancy and Dale, being marriage counselors would have been stronger and better if she wasn't with John Redcorn. Because then you could be the episode could be literally exactly the same.
Or if they had gone the route of throughout the revival they never mention John Redcorn, right? And then we find out in that episode that like this entire time she has been with him.
Yeah, I still
Then it
would've-
would then it would have been more of a gut punch at least, where
It
it would have
would
been
have
like
been, but I still
all
wouldn't
this
have liked it.
time.
It would have bothered me. It would have bothered me more had they done that, because I don't think I think
Well, it's not that it doesn't make sense. It absolutely makes sense. She's weak. She's
No,
weak and
but
she's a cheater.
no,
There's
but
no not
the
making
the
sense part
original
of it.
series did such a good job of being like, if they hadn't done an episode in the original series where she almost went back with him, I'd be like, sure. But they made it. They did. I think they did a few times where she almost goes back to him, and she never does. And I just think it would have been stronger. This episode would have been better.
Sure.
This episode would have been
That's
better.
where I.
This
That's
episode
where I
would-
say. This where. Hold on, real quick. That's where I say I get what you're saying, and you think that way, and I don't disagree. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't make sense for her to go crawling back to
It's not
him.
that it doesn't make sense.
But that's the word you use.
It doesn't. It's not that it. I just don't. I don't like it, and I think it's unnecessary. It doesn't add anything, and it just wound up being pointless anyway because the guy who plays John Redcord died, and they had to cut the character out anyway. So
Whoa, you can say it with a little more tact.
he passed away, and they ended up having to cut the character out of the show anyway. Anyway, there you go. More tactful. So they ended up having to get rid of him anyway. So like that episode would have been better, would have been stronger, if because the whole purpose of it is Peggy is upset at Nancy for being a hypocrite. So if you had done it where she's still upset with her for being a hypocrite,
No, the point of the
hold
episode
on,
is
let me
Peggy
finish.
is a fucking control freak and wants to take
well, no,
over.
she wants to prove that she has a better marriage, but her whole bit in that episode is she's a hypocrite. She cheated on Dale for 15 years. You could still do all that stuff of her being like Dale and Nancy have this like bad marriage. You could still do all that, but you do it where Nancy at the end of the episode, she can still be like, oh, I know I'm a hypocrite for all the times I cheated on Dale and what have you, for all that time I was with John Redcorn, but me and Dale post John Redcorn had to learn how to figure it out. We had to learn how to be a couple. All this stuff with her being like, we this is how, it may be complicated, but it works for us, doesn't work because she went back with John Redcorn. Like, if they hadn't done the legwork in the original series of having her relationship with John Redcorn end, I would totally be like, yeah, that makes sense. But they did do that legwork already, so this should be the follow up on.
Yes,
that.
yes, I get it. What I would have done, because I don't disagree. What I quite frankly, what I would have done is, yes, like you say, I would have had it be where Peggy is still getting pissed at her because she used to cheat, right? Like she hasn't in years or whatever, but. The one big thing that I would have changed, it had it be this whole thing where there's a conversation between like that Peggy and what's her face are having, and then Dale is like comes in and is like, Peggy, like I understand where you're coming from, but like I forgave her a long time, and we find out that all this time he knew.
No.
And we finally revealed that.
See, my version of this is the episode's like identical. It's exactly the same. I can see why. To be honest with you, I thought that that's what they were gonna do. Like legit, there was a point in the episode where I'm like, are they gonna be like Dale knows? But I just generally, I wouldn't have had John Redcord come. Well, I may not have him come back because I do like the episode in the previous season where with him and his land. Like I like that episode, but yeah. And to be fair, the previous season doesn't. It implies that they're back together, but it doesn't outright state it. But yeah, for that episode, I would have cut him out of it completely. He's already gone.
Yeah, so would I have, and I would have done what I said.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have had Dale know.
I would have, because it's been however many years, and so the idea of them having had to work through it all only makes sense to me if she finally confesses the truth.
I think though, I think that
and Dale is weird and forgives her.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's the only way it works.
I think just having it where their relationship just works because of they're not really they're more friends than they are like what they were saying in the episode. I think that all that shit works. Honestly I just would have cut out that final scene where John Redcord comes back and it's just John Redcord they break up or whatever. To be fair, you didn't even remember it's there, so that really shows how little of an impact it has on that episode. But that's really all I would cut. Otherwise, it's a fine episode. I just cut that little scene at the end that indicates that they're like, even if
I just think that it's a satisfying way to end that story thread with Dale knowing the truth.
I don't think that would be sad. I don't think that would be as satisfying as you think it would be.
I do.
I just, you'd be like, yeah. Maybe if they had done it, to be fair, at this point, no. Maybe if they had done it in the first season, maybe if they had done it in like one of the earlier episodes, within the episode where they bring back John Redcorn in the previous season, there maybe I would have been like, I still wouldn't like it, but I'd go with it. But by this point, I'm like, nah. I don't know that it would have worked for me. But fair enough.
Anyways, good show.
Really good. Really, really consistently surprising how good it is. Like, I kind of put it off for a couple of weeks, being like, it's whatever. And then I put it on and I was like, my God, it is remarkable, the strength of the writing of this show. Like, the strength of the writing is consistently impressive, where you're like, wow, this raises the bar on all of those other shows by like a lot. Like, this raises the bar on The Simpsons, it raises the bar on Family Guy, and it raises the bar on South Park. You guys need to be better. Age up your characters. You're like losing out on an absolute treasure trove of fucking storytelling ability by not having your characters age up. Look at how well King of the Hill has done it. Simpsons Stop jogging in place on your status quo and like age up your characters and do something different with your storytelling. Like, I'm thinking about like teenage Stewie or like preteen Bart or like yeah, there was that episode of The Simpsons where Bart is a teenager and Lisa's a teenager and Maggie's like 8, and I'm like, why can't like the King of the Hill is doing this? Like, instead of doing these weird one-off bad specials that you're doing on Disney Plus, do a mini-series where it's like 5 episodes of The Simpsons, and it's what if they were older. Like, do more than one episode. Like this is like, call it Disney's The Simpsons, like you said, like Hulu's King of the Hill, and like do a mini-series where you see the same thing with Family Guy. Do like a Hulu special, because they like, all these shows don't want to do full seasons anymore. They all want to do these, like, Family Guy announced they're doing a Halloween special. Do like a couple of specials where it's them in the future. Like, clearly this show is a massive success. That's what people want. Like again, this is raised.
That's what they want with this. I don't know about The Simpsons. People seem adamantly refusing to let them be anything but The Simpsons.
Because The Simpsons, that episode with the one I talked about, the future one where Maggie gets to talk, was wildly successful. All of the comments, all of the interaction with it was, why don't they make more of these? So like, clearly there's an appetite to see serialized storytelling amongst animated sitcoms now. Like, the idea of a standing continuity for sitcoms is now dead. So like maybe these other animated series need to catch up with the times. Is King of the Hill ahead of its time? I can't believe I'm asking that question about King of the Hill. That's wild. Jordan, I think
I agree.
I think, Jordan, how should we do this? I think you can go first. For your
okay. So.
Hey there, everybody, it's N-Card Justin here. Let me know down in the comments. Have you seen the newest season of King of the Hill? What did you think? Do you think it's maybe perhaps a little ahead of its time? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments down below. But in the meantime, if you'd like to see the full podcast that this is from, where I just want to watch this show episode, you can click the box on the left. Or if you just want to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out 7 days a week, or you can just leave this video a like. We'll see you all in the next video, everybody. Have a good day.